I'm just keeping it, I'm just keeping it, I'm just keeping it real. Give them something, they give them something, they give them something, they feel. If you're tired of being stressed out and been depressed about it, you feel. We gon' let you know.
Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So nothing comes before respect. Respect before love. Respect. That's what you really want from people. Men and women. Especially women. Because if you travel the world like I have, what you're going to find is people don't talk like we do over here in the Western world, in North America. People don't say, oh, I love you, whoop-de-whoop, in these other countries. People don't talk like that. You have to understand that in these other countries, they're not civilized like we are over here in most of these other countries. They don't really have a concept of what love is and what it looks like. That's what I found. But what they do have a concept of in every country you ever been to is respect. Every man and every woman knows what respect looks like. They're not confused about that at all. But if you start talking to a woman that's from any country besides America, for the most part, you start talking about love and I love you, that woman might start staring at you like she's confused. Like where is this coming from? All of a sudden, because she doesn't really have a concept of that. Especially in her language, they don't talk like that. She might be confused, like she don't know what to say. She don't know if she should say I love you back or not. She might be thinking, oh, I'm supposed to say the same thing back, I guess, which could be a lie in most cases. So that's what I found to be true. But when it comes to respect, that's what you really want. That's what you really want. Because see, respect in these cultures, it can be the same thing as love. Love in a lot of these cultures can be disguised as respect. They just don't call it. We call it love, but it's really respect to them. It's really like a commitment. That's how they see it. Because a lot of time it's the context is how we get confused with things. Because especially in English, especially if someone speaks a different language, you can say the same word or same phrase in another language, and if you say, hey, could you explain to me what this looks like in your language or in your culture, right? A lot of times it might be something completely different, but it's the same word, same phrase, right? So it's the context is what can be confusing at times. But if you were to, once the person explains it to you, then you'd be like, oh, you mean like this? So when I say this, that really means that. Y'all just say it different. You know what I'm saying? I realize that too. Just like, for example, um, over here we say um, I think as far as the workforce go, I think in other places they say they call it um anything outside a job, they call it black market. You know, anything that you can buy at the flea market, on the street, they call it black market, right? Over here, we say, hey, we going to the farmer's market, or we going to the flea market. But over these other countries, they call it the black market. You know, I'm like, oh, okay. So, but the thing is, they call everything black market, regardless of what you might be buying. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's illegal, they'll say it's black market. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal. But we don't necessarily call things that's illegal black market. We don't talk like that. If it's illegal, we say that's criminal activity. But they don't say it like that in most of these other places. You know, which has a lot to do with their mindset. Because see, in North America, for the most part, at least the people I grew up around, we don't promote criminal activity. We look down on that shit. You know, we don't respect hustlers and dope dealers. No, we don't. You know, I mean, if that's what you're gonna do, hey, do your thing. But we don't really glorify that shit. These other people, other cultures, they do. You know what I'm saying? They won't say anything negative about these people. They won't say anything about them. In certain cases, they'll act like they don't exist. But check this out. Within those cultures, whether it's a mob dude or any type of street organization, they respect those people. You see what I'm saying? So you see that? They respect those people. They respect those people so much, they won't even mention them. Because in most cases, they're afraid to mention them. Right? But us over here, we'll talk about them. We'll mention them. We don't respect them damn people. We don't respect no mafia type dude or no damn prostitute. We don't respect none of them damn people. And sex workers, we don't respect none of them damn people. Men and women, we don't. I mean, we don't. At the same time, we don't judge, but we ain't gonna really promote that shit like that. As a matter of fact, when I was growing up, a lot of the hustlers would kind of steer you away from that street life. You know, I mean, nobody wanted to be a dope boy. You know what I'm saying? Even though they got respect on the streets, but they had to do what they had to do to stay alive and thrive. But outside of the streets, people, they don't respect them dudes like that. And even if you had a woman that was out in them streets trapping or selling cooch, they don't respect her. No. Even my mom, I think my mom knew a lady that was adult worker, street worker. She didn't respect that woman. She said, yeah, I know she do, but Can't come around me with none of that. She don't want. Nobody wanted to hang out with no. The women I grew up with, they don't want to hang out with no woman like that. You know, they kind of stay away from, you know, that type of woman. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I mean when I say people understand what respects look like. You know, and if you notice, I never mentioned the word love one time. Because these people don't really have a concept of what that really is. Look, I remember when I first went to Japan, and something simple as a hug is weird in Japan. Yeah, I remember, like, because, you know, I'm from a family where people everybody's hugging everybody. Basically, if you haven't seen a person in a long time, you give them a hug. If the person's leaving and you don't know when next time you're going to see him, you give him a hug. Right? So I went to Japan. And I am who I am. Everywhere I go, there I go. You know, I'm being me. So I went to hug a girl one time, and it was awkward. She didn't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because she probably never had, I don't even think she ever had anybody to give her a hug before. I thought I might have been the first guy to give her a hug. If I'm not mistaken, you know, it was so awkward, you know. And then we actually talked about it, like, probably the next day or whatever. Then that's when she told me that over here, they don't really hug like that, you know? And you have to understand, this is my first 90 days of being in Japan at the time. And that's when she told me, hey, we don't really hug over here. If anything, we'll bow and show respect or whatever. But that's how it is, you know? And they don't show a lot of emotion either. That's another thing about being around these other groups of people. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on. I mean, you might be sending your son off they might be sending their son off to college for the whole year, and he ain't coming back during the holidays, right? And picture this. I've seen this a couple times at the airport. You have a Japanese family seeing their son off or daughter off to go to America or Australia to college, and they're not coming back. So they're leaving, say, probably August, right, for school. And they're not coming back until what, June, right? So that's a whole year. That's a whole year, right? Damn near. And the son leaves, like, the board the plane, like, you know, all they did is just throw their hand up and say bye-bye. That's it. There's no hug, there's no emotion, there's no nothing. It's just like this is an everyday occurrence or some shit like that, you know. So it took time for me to get used to situations like that. I don't really think I ever got used to it. I just adapted to it, you know. But if you were going to be around a girl like that in a place like Japan, you're gonna have to show her what you like. That's the only way a relationship like that would work. Where, like, you know, because she doesn't know, basically, you know. But I was like, okay, if you're gonna be around me, you're gonna have to do what I like, you know, more often than not. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of the women, they were open to it. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you why they were open to it. because they respected me. That's why they were open to it. Now, if they didn't respect me, they would have rejected anything that I said. And this goes back to what I said. Everybody knows what respect looks like. Everybody knows what that looks like. Everybody knows what you're supposed to do. How you're supposed to act when you're around a person that you respect. And that's how it is. That's what you really want. See, respect could be love. You can call it what you want to call it, but it's really the same thing at the end of the day. Because once you have respect, everything else usually follows. That's time tested and have been proven to be true. And this is coming from a guy that has traveled the world, literally. I've been all over. I've been everywhere. I've been places that people dream about. And they still dream about, still to this day. Places that people have thought about going and probably never been. I've been there. I've been to Australia. I've been to Japan. I've been to Korea. I've been to Guam, Hawaii, Thailand. I've been to all these places. Singapore. So I know what I'm talking about. I know how it is, especially in the eastern side of the world. Is people tend to be emotionless, so to speak. They don't really show people in that side of the world is heavy programming more than anything. Heavy programming in these countries. Some people would say these damn people are like robots. And I understand why they would say that. If you can be walking down the street in Japan and everybody's walking straight. Nobody's looking right, nobody's looking left. People are just walking straight. So you can be you can be standing up on the sidewalk and a woman could be walking that and she knows you, but she would never probably see you because she's walking and looking straight ahead. And this is normal behavior because they've been programmed to operate like that, walk like that, act like that, So, but at the end of the day, respect comes before love. That's what you really want, because if you don't have a woman's respect, you need to get away from her. And if that's your so-called girlfriend or wife, if she doesn't respect you, that ain't your wife no more. That ain't your girlfriend no more. That's somebody else's woman. So stop claiming people that lie to you, cheat on you, stab you in the back. Stop claiming these people. These people are not. They ain't your woman. They're not for you. Maybe they used to, but some people go lame. People get bored and they check out and go someplace else. You know what I'm saying? But some people are just like that, and a lot of times it's not your fault. Some people check out on you. Some people check out on people, and a lot of times it has to do with their upbringing and their experiences, and and some people have bad role models growing up. You know what I'm saying? So don't blame yourself when your woman check out on you. She ain't motivated to do anything no more. She treats you like a stranger. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to sleep with you no more. She's sleeping in the next room or whatever. She ain't your woman. So you shouldn't be surprised if she sleeps in the next room. she don't respect you. She makes you wait on everything. That ain't your woman. She belonged to the streets. That's what Future tried to tell you. She belonged to the streets. But hey, it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, if she don't respect you, that ain't your woman. That's somebody else's woman. She belongs to the game. So like and share this episode and tell me what you think below.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.